normal sound wave.
I've been working with dogs, well over 35 years. I've worked with several aggressive breeds, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Dobermans. I've worked with several small breeds. So basically, my whole background, is being around and working and training, dogs.
Now, we've been watching. You have quite a bit of videos on YouTube, and you were in a documentary I watched. Yeah, this documentary I watched, and the whole dog training thing. I think a lot of people take that lightly, or they feel like that is why do I need a dog trainer? Like I could just tell my dog to sit and bite people, and that's it. But it's actually deeper than that with what you do, especially with pit bulls, because how pit bulls are getting a lot of the breeds of pit bulls actually get put to sleep because of people misusing the dog, and then the dog would get taken away. And then it's a grown dog in a shelter, and nobody wants a grown pit bull, so they actually have to be, like I said, get put to sleep. So you actually help people learn how to train their dogs, so they can break the stereotypes that they have of pit bulls and other aggressive dogs.
Yes, and in my daily, everyday job, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We can hear you.
Okay, in my everyday job, I work for the Department of Animal Services for the City of Los Angeles. So prior to me going to work with the City of Los Angeles, I had already been involved with training and working with dogs and competing with dogs, and being one of the first African-American out of the Los Angeles area, I was one of the first to put his dog on a plane and compete in a national competition in El Paso, Texas back in 1995.
Wow.
I started to work for the Department of Animal Services in 2002 and as a clerk typist. And it gave me a chance to deal with the public firsthand. And I started noticing a lot of things that were going on, a lack of knowledge on how to handle animals, basically how to own animals. People were coming from different parts of the world, different parts of the country, coming here with their ideas of how to take care of the animals, and a lot of people think that at 6 o'clock in the evening, it's okay for you to open the gate up and let your dog out and run the street, regardless to what breed it is. So there was a lot of misconceptions going on, and I happened to run into a young lady that was doing a lot of real serious work with homeless people and their dogs, helping them get their dogs out of the pound and out of the shelter, and helping them get inoculations, rabies shots, and things of that nature. And we just started a relationship with one another, my knowledge about training and her ability to work with the homeless. And we just started doing things in the community, working together, putting together spay and neuter clinics for people who couldn't afford to get their dogs spayed and neutered, putting training programs together. We've got one of our big events that we started last year called the Greater Los Angeles Dog Nick, where we invite anyone out of the general public who has a dog that's social to come out and picnic with us and share some knowledge and some awareness of other trainers, other groups, bringing them information about inoculations, bringing them information and assistance in getting their dogs spayed and neutered, and some of them need transportation to get their dogs to the vet. So we do a lot of things of that nature here in the area, and it's been really rewarding.
What are some of the things, some of the misperception people have with pit bulls? That breed?
Yeah, the biggest conception that a lot of people have with pit bulls is that every pit bull is a vicious, aggressive killer. That's one of the biggest conceptions that people have, or misconceptions that people have about the dog. The dog basically is a very, very loving and a very loyal companion. Back in the late 20s and early 30s, this was America's family dog, this Staffordshire Terrier, American Pit Bull. But
a couple of presidents
now
had those,
here
right?
we are in the 2000s, and now he's become one of the most detrimental animals on the street. And it's not the dog that has created this problem; it's the owners of the dog that have created the problem.
Now, a couple of our presidents of the United States presidents had those kind of dogs, correct?
That is correct. That is definitely correct. And like I said, he was America's family dog.
Now, where a lot of people say they use pit bulls for fighting, or we see the footage. PETA makes it go around about it. Pit bulls always used for fighting. Where did this aggression come from with these pit bulls?
Well,
where did the breed origin from?
I'm sorry?
Where did the breed originate from?
Well, the origin of the dog itself comes out of Europe, okay? And he was a gentleman's dog. He's a naturally bred warrior, okay, if you implement the program or the training to make him go that way. But at the same time, he's a very loving and loyal dog if you implement the training and the behaviors, to make him go that way. And the reason I say it's the dog owner that creates the problem is because you're breeding a dog that has the propensity or the potential, to do combat, to do battle. But why would you want to do that, in an effort to harm the dog or to, prolong this stigma or stereotype that they have on the dog simply because he has the ability to do it?
Right. It's Thermal Soundwaves Radio, WHCR 90.3 FM. We're here with Mr. Larry Hill, the man that takes care of dogs at trainer, Puppy Imprinters of all types of dogs. So,
yes.
Mr. Hill, so what are some of the things you do to help people with, let's say, out of control dogs, especially pit bulls or Rottweilers? What are some things you do to help the owner understand the dog and keep the dog to a point where it could be vicious, because it is bred to be vicious or bred to fight, but have an understanding, be in control?
Well, it's like anything else. Okay, there's a natural pattern or habits that the dog has that's innately its own. What I do is I try to get the owners to understand, what the dog's nature is. I get them to understand what the techniques and what the training programs that they could implement to help this dog become a very social and a very loyal pet. I have a class that I get together, and I have people come to the class where the dogs get to meet one another, where the trainers get to meet one another, or the owners. They get a chance to talk to one another. The dogs get a chance to work together, helping them to become socialized so that they don't have to be fearful or defensive every time a dog comes around. I teach the owners how to handle the dog and the proper way of handling the dog so that they can get the proper response from the dog. Teach them the proper equipment that they should have on the dog, and then we give them other information such as dietary habits, maintenance of the dog, making sure that the dog has all the proper vaccines and things, and then where they can get this type of information. A lot of the areas that we work in are the same areas that I grew up in. A lot of these areas are underprivileged and under-deprived areas, such as Watts, Compton, Carson, California, and areas like that. In Watts, California alone, okay, there's not a veterinarian that has a address for Watts, California. And in that area, wow, there's a huge number of, shall we say, people that live below the poverty level. But a lot of these folks have these dogs, okay, that they love, that they care for, that they have for protection, that they have for early warning systems, keeping them and their family and their possessions safe. But they don't have the means, nor do they have the way to get the animals to the doctor to find out what's wrong with it, or to help them with a severe case of mange and things of that nature. So we myself and a few of the other organizations in the Los Angeles area, we provide or help provide these services by going out and raising funds and asking for donations. We go to the junior high schools and the high schools and the junior colleges in the area, and we give lectures and programs, and we help with all of these services and give the people the information as to where they can find these services. So there's a lot of things and a lot of components involved in what we do in our area. It's just not limited to one thing.
It's Thermal Sound Waves here on WHCR 90.3 FM and also WHCR.org. We're talking to Mr. Larry Hill, of course, dog trainer and business entrepreneur, Puppy Imprints and canine. What was he? It was Canine. Was it Thrills? Was that
Canine Thrills was the organization, the original organization that began back in the early 90s. Matter of fact, 1990 in Los Angeles. I had prior to that been working with a large canine group here in Los Angeles called South Central Canine under the tutelage of Shelby Sanders. And in 1990, I formed my own group called Canine Thrills. And from that, you know, we worked and trained around here in the Los Angeles area. And it was pretty much a hobby. It wasn't a real business because I had a full-time job. I had full-time employment working as a sheet metal worker here in the Los Angeles area. In 1990, the sheet metal trade went down, and Canine Thrills, as a part-time dog training club, helped me to sustain myself and maintain myself during those times until I got hired on with the city of Los Angeles. So, you know, like I say, we've done several things, and we keep doing things in the community. We help out where we can, and we offer information where we can. We give advice where we can. And if someone can afford, you know, the training, you know, then we try to see if we can help solicit donations and funds to help them, you know, get their dogs trained. Because a lot of times people have these animals, they want to get them trained, but training can be quite expensive.
Definitely that. And have you ever trained any dogs for movies?
I haven't really trained any for movies. I have a couple that I had trained and worked on a couple of pilots that never made it to the big screen, but I've never really actually trained one that did any movie work.
Okay, definitely. And if people want to, you know, bring their dogs to you, get their dogs trained, and just, you know, take the classes and stuff like that, where can they go? How can they get in contact with you and so forth?
They can reach me through our website, puppyimprinters.com. They can contact us through our videos that we have up on YouTube. We have a contact page and an information page that they can leave their information. We have a weekly video clip and information clip that we put out, that we put up on YouTube, and at the end of that, we give them some information, and we also give them some information where they can make donations to our program so that we can continue to go to the schools and talk to the at-risk youth. Right now, with the aid of Karma Rescue and Kelly Newfield, we're able to cross into those lines, talk to the kids, you know, get them to understand the reason why, you know, we should be kind to animals, you know, the reasons why we should be loving toward our friends and our mates, helping them to understand by being loving and kind to animals, you know, may cut down or curtail the bullying problems that we have in the schools. We have the animals that we take to the schools and to different clubs like the boys clubs, and we give the kids a chance to interact with them. And sometimes, you know, they're in situations at home where they may not be able to get the love and affection that they need because of personal problems that the parents may be having, such as alcohol and other types of addictions, causing them to neglect the kids sometimes. But we use the dogs as a medium to kind of bridge that gap, to help them to be able to relate to understanding about love, compassion, about setting up patterns and understanding how you should set up ways to become more disciplined. So, as I said, you know, we do a lot of things out here in L.A., and I'm very proud to be a part of the organization and the people that I deal with.
Definitely, man. We want to thank you for being on the program.
And I just want to say I want to thank you guys for offering me a chance to be able to come onto the program and express what we do here in the Los Angeles area. And I'd like for everyone to continue to like us and contact us on YouTube and Facebook and send us those questions so we can answer those questions and get that information back to you.
Definitely will. And big shout out to your staff also for keeping up with CNI on getting you on the show, because we feel a lot of people need to get more training on their dogs, and they can definitely get that through you. And shout out everybody over there in Watts. All right, what up, Downs?
I definitely appreciate that, and I'll definitely let Basilos and Patrick know, okay, that you guys mentioned them, and we'll keep doing what we do, and you guys keep making ways for other folks to be able to express themselves.
Definitely. All right, so we'll see. And matter of fact, we'll see when we come to California anyway. We'll see.
I'll be looking forward to it.
All right.
Okay, everybody, have a good night.
All right, you too.
Peace.
It's Thermal Sound Waves, a natural alternative to fast food radio.
Thermal sound waves, y'all. They hot.